Have you ever wondered why some people command respect while you still struggle for validation? The answer might hurt more than you imagine. By the end of this journey, you'll understand the harsh psychological truth behind respect that most will never confront, and why it changes everything. If you've ever felt invisible despite your achievements, write "I've felt unseen" in the comments. Your story matters, and I read every word you share. The search for respect is humanity's hidden addiction. We chase it through accomplishments, through kindness, through compromise. Yet it remains elusive. You've tried being helpful. You've tried being successful. You've tried being nice. Still, that deep recognition you crave seems to slip through your fingers. The painful truth is that respect isn't earned the way you've been told. It isn't granted for good behavior or collected like points in some cosmic game. People who desperately seek respect are precisely those who never receive it. This paradox cuts to the core of human psychology, and few dare to face it. Friedrich Nietzsche understood this when he wrote, "The noble soul has reverence for itself." His words carry a brutal awakening for those still pleasing others. The respect you seek externally was never meant to come from outside. The validation you chase is a mirage that recedes with every step toward it. You've been taught to earn respect through service, through sacrifice, through silent accommodation of others' needs while neglecting your own sovereign self. This is the first illusion we must shatter. Respect is not given to those who earn it. It is naturally extended to those who already possess self-respect. Nietzsche called this quality self-reverence, a radical acceptance of one's own nature, desires, and boundaries without apology or excessive explanation. When you constantly seek approval, you signal to the world that your worth remains undecided, that you require external confirmation of your value. Notice how those who command natural respect rarely justify their choices. They don't over-explain. They don't seek permission for their existence. Like water flowing downhill, respect naturally moves toward those who stand firmly in their truth, who embody what Nietzsche called the will to power. But this isn't about dominance over others. It's about sovereignty over yourself, the courage to exist unapologetically in a world that demands conformity. The mirror never lies about who commands your respect. Think of someone you deeply respect. Do they constantly seek your approval? Do they bend to please? Or do they move through life with a quiet certainty, an inner compass that guides them regardless of the crowd's direction? Their boundaries remain clear. This is the great paradox. Respect flows toward those who need it least. Those who beg for it signal unworthiness through the very act of begging. The shadows we cast are longer than we know. Every time you compromise your truth for approval, you teach others exactly how to treat you. When you accept disrespect once, you open the door to it forever. Your tolerance becomes their permission. Your silence becomes their encouragement. The desert of constant compromise stretches endlessly. Many wander this barren landscape their entire lives, thirsting for respect while giving away their water. Consider how often you've dimmed your light to make others comfortable. How many times have you swallowed your truth to maintain fragile peace? These moments aren't mere concessions, they're identities being formed. With each compromise, you author a story about your worth that others read clearly. The philosopher Martin Heidegger spoke of authenticity, the courage to live according to one's true nature despite social pressure to conform. This authenticity forms the bedrock of genuine respect, not a performance of strength, but the quiet certainty that comes from knowing your own mind. Your voice changes when you speak your truth. It carries a resonance that others feel before they understand. This vibration is what commands natural respect. The masks we wear become our prison. Each time you present a false self to win approval, you forfeit the possibility of genuine recognition. These masks may win you temporary acceptance, but never the deep respect you crave. People respect the authentic, not the artificial, regardless of imperfection. The storm of disapproval feels threatening only when you've built your house on the shifting sands of others' opinions. On solid ground, it merely passes by. Consider those moments when you felt most alive. Were you seeking permission then? Or were you fully embodied in your truth, regardless of judgment? Those rare moments of full self-expression reveal your authentic power. They show what's possible when you stop performing and start existing without apology. The ocean doesn't ask permission to be vast. The mountain doesn't apologize for its height. Yet in their unwavering nature, they command our natural reverence. You've been measuring respect in the wrong currency, collecting compliments and approval, while the true measure lies in how firmly you honor your boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls to keep others out. They're definitions of self that invite proper relationship. Without them, you remain undefined and, thus, unseen. When someone crosses your boundary and you remain silent, you don't preserve connection. You erase yourself. This self-erasure is the death of respect. The fire of self-reverence burns away the need for constant validation. When you no longer need others' approval to feel worthy, your presence transforms. People sense this transformation immediately. They respond not to what you do, but to who you are, someone who holds their own worth as self-evident. This inner certainty creates a gravity that naturally draws respect, not through demand or manipulation, but through the undeniable power of self-possession. The path to respect begins with a single, radical act, treating yourself with profound respect first, not tomorrow when you're perfect, now in your incompleteness, speaking your truth even when your voice shakes, setting boundaries even when they disappoint others, honoring your needs even when inconvenient. These acts aren't selfish. They're necessary reclamations of selfhood. They announce to the world that you exist not for others' convenience, but for your own purpose. Nietzsche wrote of the revaluation of values, questioning inherited beliefs about goodness. Perhaps the greatest revaluation is recognizing that people-pleasing isn't virtue. The kindest souls often receive the least respect precisely because their goodness becomes expected, then demanded, then taken without acknowledgement. True kindness flows from strength, not weakness, from abundance, not need. It's given freely, not as currency exchanged for approval or recognition. When you stop performing goodness to be respected and instead embody your authentic nature, something remarkable happens. Your interactions transform entirely. Notice how those who command natural respect rarely raise their voice. They don't need to. Their quiet certainty speaks volumes without requiring volume. Their silence carries weight because it isn't filled with anxiety about others' judgments. It's the silence of someone who knows exactly who they are. When you embody this certainty, others begin responding differently. Interruptions decrease. Your opinions receive consideration. Your boundaries are respected without enforcement. This isn't manipulation, it's natural human psychology. We instinctively respect those who demonstrate self-respect. We naturally value those who value themselves. The secret power of self-reverence lies in how it changes every relationship in your life without a single external battle. The only conquest required is internal. If these words have touched something deep within you, perhaps you're ready for this journey of transformation. Subscribe to continue exploring these truths together. There will be moments when standing in your truth feels terrifying, when your voice wants to retreat, when compromise seems safer than authenticity. In these moments, remember that respect isn't earned through perfection, but through the courage to remain true to yourself, even when it costs you approval. The greatest regrets come not from being disliked for who you are, but from being liked for who you are not. One path leads to respect, the other to invisibility. Every time you honor your boundaries, speak your truth, or stand firmly in your worth, you're writing a new story about what you deserve, and others will read this story in your posture, your voice, your unhurried responses, your comfortable silences. They will respond to this story before you speak. The world doesn't always make space for authenticity. You must claim it. You must be willing to disappoint others rather than betray yourself. This is what Nietzsche meant by the will to power, not domination over others, but sovereignty over yourself. The refusal to make yourself small for comfort. When you apologize for your existence, you'll always be seeking forgiveness. When you justify your needs, you'll always be seeking permission. But when you stand firmly in your truth, imperfect yet unashamed, you no longer seek respect. You naturally command it through your very being. As the ancient Stoics taught, concern yourself not with what you cannot control, others' opinions, but with what you can, your integrity, your boundaries, your truth. The path to being respected isn't about becoming someone new. It's about ceasing to be who you're not. It's about removing the masks, not adding better ones. In your quiet moments of authentic self-expression, you've already glimpsed this power. You've felt the difference between performing for approval and simply being. Let this understanding transform how you move through the world, not as someone desperate for validation, but as someone already complete in their self-reverence. In Nietzsche's words, the noble soul has reverence for itself. This is your birthright, not a distant goal to achieve, but an inherent dignity to remember. The respect you've been seeking was never meant to be earned. It was meant to be embodied. It begins and ends with the person you see in the mirror. Look into that mirror now. See the one who has always been worthy of profound respect. Then live from that truth and watch as the world responds in kind.